Hello, welcome to today's tutorial. We have a leading edge simulation Saab 340 with an X-Plane 11. Today we're going to be looking at combining the elements from the last tutorial on visual approaches into a scenario where we've got a bit of weather around. So currently inbound to Moorabbin with FS Economy, and the weather up ahead for us. The Meta at Moorabbin, the winds are 360 at 11 knots. The greater than 10k visibility, overcast 1600, overcast 2300, temperature 13, and the QNH is 1035, which we haven't actually set up yet. Just through 10,000, so we'll
altimeter setting.
Add that in now, yes. Left RAS on. Alright. So coming through 10,000, landing lights can come on, we'll notify the cabin, and we'll set up the CTOT ready for a missed approach. So today we're going to be doing what's known as a DGA, or the DME GPS arrival into Moorabbin, which is commonly thought of as the DME step down back in the day where VORs were around everywhere. Moorabbin doesn't have a VOR, there's an NDB, and we'll be predominantly using the GPS for the distance information, hence it's the GNSS arrival into here. So with that, we're just coming in within the 25 mile MSA now, so we did have 5,500, which is the lowest safe on the track set in here, so within 25 now. I'm going to set the 5,000 for the first step as we come in for this approach. So with the weather today, the cloud base is pretty much right on our circuit height, so we don't particularly need to go all the way out for an RNAV and come back in, but at the same token we can't join a visual circuit because we're not going to be visual by the MSA to get down there. The MSA from this direction is 4,700 and we've got two overcast layers below us, so it definitely won't be visual. So we're going to do the DGA. That's going to lead us to a circle to land, which will effectively still be a right base for, a right downwind for runway 35 right. Now we're just coming into some cloud here at 1 degree, so we're going to need some ice protection now. So turn on engine anti-ice one at a time. HPs come to auto and boots go to continuous, then we'll turn the other engine anti-ice on. We're above -5, so we don't need prop de-ice. Now the reason we turn these two on separately is just simply if there was some ice in the engine, when we turn those on we may loosen that ice and send it into the compressors. We obviously, if that was to occur, we only want one engine to suffer a compressor surge or compressor stall at a time. Obviously if both do it at the same time, it's a very, very bad day for us. Just going to ease up on the descent here. We've got a little bit high, and sorry, a little bit low. I'm just going to slow down as well. So the initial approach fix is 15 miles at looks like it's about 5,300. So we're just a touch low now. I'm going to let it capture at 5,000, and theoretically we should be at 5,000 at 13.3 miles. So we're going to slow down. We want to configure at the initial, so we're just going to bring it back to idle, let the speed wash off a bit. In the meantime, we're going to go condition levers max. Not going to put the gear down because it's a circling approach. So we'll skip the gear, condition levers to max. And once we're below 175 knots, we'll take flat 15 and advance the power to maintain about 165 knots. There, so I'm going to set that now. So we're past 15 DME, so we can descend now 3,600, which is going to go into vertical speed, and we're doing 170, so we'll go 900 feet per minute. So from the last video, the way we work out the vertical speed, drop the last digit off the ground speed, divide it by 2, so we've got 18, which makes 9. So coming up 12 miles, we should be 4,600, which we pretty much are. We're a touch high, but that's fine, we'll let that roll for the moment. So let 3.6 for the next step. So we're coming up to 5 degrees. So the definition of icing for the Saab is visible moisture in plus 5 degrees or less. So we're still technically in icing until that changes to 6. So it's 9 DMEs descending 3000 set. And we're at 6 degrees now, so the boots can come off. The engine anti-ice needs to remain on for 5 minutes after exiting icing. So boots off, HP's closed. And we might use this timer over here for 5 minutes. So with engine anti-ice on, the stall warning computer will increase stall speeds by 10 knots. So what we're going to do, because we're likely going to land with it, is going to increase the VRF by 10 knots. Now the other component to that is the ITTs will be higher because we're taking some mass airflow out of the engine to bring it back to use as engine anti-ice. So I'm going to reduce the C-top to 90% to counteract for that. So that's out, so we're through 7, descending 2,300 set. I'm just going to go to 1,000, 6 miles, 2690, so I've got high now. I need a bit more than that, we'll go 1,300. So if you manage to not get distracted talking about stuff and have a constant descent through here, around about 30% torque should give you 160 knots in this configuration. Got just a shade less courtesy of the descent rate. So coming up, so we're through 5, descending 11, 1,100 set. 4 miles should be at 2,050, so just a touch high. We're just coming through the clouds now. So we are visual, we shouldn't be, but we are visual. So can I come into heading mode and turn us onto a downwind. Now in the last tutorial I showed you the OBS trick here, so I'm going to hit OBS. That should be stuck on Moorabbin now, which it is, and I'm going to set the CDI up for the runway heading, which is 344. Okay, so how are we looking? It's not too bad of a spacing there. We're going to keep coming down to 1,100, so we are below the circuit height. We can see just coming through circuit height now, there's still a fair bit of cloud around, so we'll let it keep coming down. So we're looking for about 2 miles with the landing threshold, which is here, probably a touch tight. It's about a beam now, so timing. We're going to leave the flaps at 20. We're going to take the gear down, bump the power. Because we're below circuit height here, we're not going to descend just yet. We are maintaining, so I'm going to set the missed approach 2,200 set. 25 seconds, turn onto base. Now with the gear, taxi light comes on, auto coursing comes on. And about 1,000 feet should be 3 miles to run, which is going to be the back end of base. So once we're at the back end of base, we'll go into vertical speed and take the gear down. No, sorry, flap 20. So we're rolling out now. I need to try and visually ascertain when the correct time is to turn. We do have a bit of situational awareness from the CDI, but the NDB isn't co-located with the runway, so it's only going to help us a little bit. I reckon about here, so I'm going to go vertical speed, 600 feet per minute, and we're below 1, yeah, right. Just accelerating because we've gone into VS at the same time. There we go, positively below 165, flap 20. quick final checklist. The auto caution is on, gear down 3 green, condition levers max, flat 20 set, just the autopilot left. We're coming through, we can see we've come through, so I'm going to come onto an intercept, re-intercept the runway. Get rid of it from there, so autopilot off, flight director off because it's not providing useful information. Letting the speed start to come back towards our VREF. Now as you can see, if I let go, the nose isn't really pitching anywhere, so we want to make sure we trim as the speed comes back, otherwise the nose will want to drop down on you.
Left. Approaching 3, 5, right.
So you see I'm not touching the controls right now, so it's perfectly in trim for us, makes it the easiest way to fly the aircraft. Just coming through about a degree nose up or a degree nose down in that sort of flat attitude, coming through late final. Just going to slowly bring the power up.
Remaining.
Data lights illuminate, into reverse, onto the steering tiller. Just going to roll through.
Approaching 1, 3, left.
These taxiways in here are a bit small for us, so we're going to roll all the way through to the end and vacate up here onto Golf.
30 remaining.
Through. So vacating the runway now, we can get rid of the landing lights and strobe lights, we'll start cleaning her up. So the flaps can come off. In this case we've got the normal ice protection items, we also have the engine anti-ice because that's been on through the landing. The HP is already closed and we'll clean her up, CTOC can come off and reset the trims for takeoff. So it's been a instrument approach in the form of the GPS arrival into Moorabbin, and that's led into a circle to land at the bottom of the approach onto 3-5 right. We did overshoot the centre line a bit there. It is kind of difficult in the simulator to kind of gauge when to turn final, but we did correct it and come back onto the runway nicely there. So if you've enjoyed this video, learned something from it, if you've liked it, give us a like, any comments or suggestions for future videos, leave a comment, and we'll see you in the next video.